Earl Gallant, Township Chevrolet. I'm the shop foreman here, and just going to give him a brief rundown of what's involved with a brake service. So you brought your vehicle in for something here, whether it be an oil change or another service, and our technicians have recommended that maybe you go ahead and do a brake service. There's a couple of reasons they may suggest that. One being just regular maintenance to keep your brakes working like they should. The next is that they've picked up a problem in your brake system that could be corrected before there's any damage done or any components that are completely worn out. So just a quick overview here. This is your brake rotor. This is where your wheel would normally sit. This is your brake caliper, and this is what applies the squeeze to the brake pads to stop the vehicle. So the rotor's turning, you put your foot in the brake, it squeezes this caliper, squeezes the pads, and applies the brake pressure. So in order for this system to work properly, all these components have to be free and working together. So the first thing the technician is going to do is he's going to remove your brake caliper. In your brake caliper, there's these two pistons that are hydraulically pushed and they squeeze the brake pads. They're going to make sure that those pistons are free. So that's one thing that they're going to do. The next thing they're going to do is to make sure these brake pads are free in the brackets. These brackets that hold the brake pads, sometimes what will happen is rust will build up and accumulate between the clips and the brake pads themselves, and it will cause them to squeeze them. And then when you apply the brake pressure, the brake can't release. So you've got a constant wear on the brake pad, which generates heat which can cause these rotors to warp, and it'll also cause these pads to wear down. If one is stuck more than the other, it'll cause them to wear down unevenly. So you can tell this particular customer here has been in for a brake service here. There is grease applied to these areas. The clips are moving really well. There's no need to perform a brake service here. This has already been done. One of the other issues we have, the technician will pull out these slider pins, and that's basically what that caliper rides on to allow it to move freely in and out. These also are greased, and the technician will take those out, and if they're seized up, they'll free those up. Once he has everything clean and make sure everything's freed up and good, he'll reinstall the caliper and take the car for a test drive and make sure everything's good. Most cars today will have disc brakes front and rear, so it'll be a similar situation in both front and rear of the vehicle. Some vehicles do have drum brakes. Similar process, a little different system. They will clean them. They'll lubricate any seized components in the back of the drum brakes, and they will adjust the drum brakes when they're all done. So that's been a quick rundown on how we do a brake service and why here at Township Chevrolet.